Hello, I'm Miss Christabel Irene Deha, your tutor for meal management. In this lesson, we want to look at the topic providing meals to manage diet-related conditions. These are the outlines. We want to look at a few things. That is designing a meal offering. In that, we want to look at costing sheet, selection of dishes, and costing menu. By the end of this lesson, I expect you to be able to provide meals to manage any diet-related conditions. You should equally be able to cost meals for individuals. And finally, you should be able to design or prepare a menu board and sheets for cooking. Now, when we talk about providing meals to manage diet-related conditions. What are these diet-related conditions? When we say diet-related conditions, basically, they are nutritional diseases. Any of the nutrient-related diseases and conditions that cause illness in humans. They may include deficiencies or excess in the diet. For instance, obesity, eating disorders, chronic diseases such as cardiovascular diseases, hypertension, cancer, diabetes, and many of them. Nutritional diseases also include developmental abnormalities that can be prevented by diet. They equally include food allergies and intolerance. Now, let's go back to designing a meal offering. Basically, what are some of the things that you look out for when designing a meal offering? So, I titled this as factors to consider when providing meals to manage some diet-related conditions. You have to consider certain things. As I mentioned earlier on, that some of these diet-related conditions being diabetes, obesity, hypertension, osteoporosis, and what have you. Now, when planning a meal for a diabetic patient, you have to consider things like foods that are reduced in what? Sugar, lean proteins, high fiber food, fruits and vegetables. These are good for people suffering from what? Diabetes. Because it's an issue of what? High blood what? Sugar. So any food that contains sugar or high amount of sugar can trigger their condition. For that matter, when giving them food, you have to control the amount of these substances. Obesity, of course, we know it's as a result of excess carbohydrates or excess fats. For that matter, if somebody is having issue of obesity, you want to reduce his or her caloric intake. So in planning a meal for such a person, you have to consider low carbohydrates. You have to look at whole grains, fruits and vegetables. Talk about hypertension. Any food that is rich in sodium, salts, will trigger issues of what? Hypertension. That, for that matter, you have to consider what? Foods that are low in what? Salt. The salt intake of that person should be low. Reduce the fatty meats. Low fat dairy products. Those are the things you consider. When you are looking at somebody suffering from osteoporosis, which is an issue of weak bones, we look at things that strengthen the bones. And we know calcium is responsible for bone development or for the strength of the bone. So for that matter, you look for foods that are rich in calcium. These are the things that should guide you when planning meal for these individuals. Now, even before you plan the meal, there are still certain key things to note. That is the type of meals and what they are made up of. In our previous lessons, we talked about type of meals. We talked about breakfast, lunch, packed lunch, or takeaways. We talked about supper, dinner. We also talked about other hot meals. That is a full course meal. So you have to go back to your notes and revise this lesson. This will guide you to know what you are supposed to provide. For instance, when we talk about a course meal, a full course dinner consists of a variety of dishes or courses. Note that in its simplest form, it consists of 3 or 5 courses, such as appetizer, fish course, entree, main course, and dessert. And the 3 course, of course, has a starter, main course, and a dessert. So before you even answer the question, you have to look at, or before you attempt preparing a meal for these people, you have to know if you are preparing a 3 course, a 2 course, a full meal, a breakfast, a dinner. Know the composition of these types of meals. This will guide you to know what you are supposed to give to these individuals. Now let's come back to the major topic of the day, as in costing sheets. With your costing sheet, there are basic things to look out for. On the first page, it talks about your name, your registration number, the assignment, that is the question that you've been asked, and the menu, that is the answer, the menu you've chosen for that particular person. So as you can see boldly on the screen, or even in your handouts, this image is there. You can refer to it there. So let's take an example. For instance, let's say this one, the name is Miss Christabel Irene Deha. My registration number is boldly written. Then assignment, let's assume, is prepare a meal for an expectant mother or an expectant woman. The first question you ask yourself, who is an expectant woman? A pregnant woman, of course, is who we are talking about. So what are some of the things that you consider? What are the health complications of this person? What are the challenges that pregnant women face? That is diet-related issues. That's what we are talking about. So what menu are we getting? Are we preparing for this? So the menu, for instance, I chose boiled skin sweet potato with snail turkey berry sauce. Turkey berry is also known as abedru or konsusua. So when you are writing it in the local dialect, you have to put an inverted comma on it. And I also have vegetable salad as a starter. And finally, I have a dessert, which is banana pancake. So that is the menu I'm going to prepare for that person. Now, I have selected my dishes. So selection of dishes, I have selected them. What are my reasons for selecting these dishes? So my vegetable salad, which is the starter. Remember, I mentioned in this question, you were not asked to prepare either breakfast, dinner, 2 course, 3 course. No, it's just a meal. So what will inform you to answer the question or to provide either 3 course, a full meal. But basically, when such a question is asked, I advise you prepare at least a 3-course meal. If it is not specified, if it is specified, you know what you are doing. I hope you understand. So I am preparing a 3-course meal. That is why I have my vegetable salad as my starter. I have my boiled skin sweet potato with snail turkey berry sauce, which is my main course. And we know that the main course is the heaviest part of the meal. Is the protein part or the protein course, and the dessert, which is my banana pancake. So now let's look at my reason for vegetable salad. Vegetable salad contains vitamins and minerals needed for various functioning. Example, vitamin C, which help in iron absorption and boost immune system. And the vegetable salad is also serving as what? A starter, an appetizer, something that stimulates the appetite of this pregnant woman, because sometimes they do not have appetite for food. So some of them, just a vegetable salad will make a grief for the food. So that is why it's important to get a starter, an appetizer for the person. So this is my reason. There could be other reasons, but justify your reason. Now I have my boiled skin sweet potato with snail turkey berry. That's abedru sauce. My reason for choice or reason for choosing this dish is that turkey berry and snails contains iron, which will help in the production of new red blood cells to increase hemoglobin level of the expectant mother who may have low hemoglobin, causing anemia in pregnancy. Of course, we all know that in pregnancy, there are issues of anemia. So this will what? Help in the development of what? New red blood cells. So it's a good meal, it's a good dish for such a person. Secondly, I also look at the skin sweet potato. It's rich in dietary fiber, which help in free bowels and hence reduce constipation in pregnancy. Yes, pregnant women are faced with issues of constipation. So diet or food that are rich in dietary fiber will help them to have what? Free bowels. Then my boiled potato is easy to digest and provide what? Energy for what? Her daily activity. Of course, she needs what? Energy. Let's not forget about a balanced diet in what? Choosing our hot dish. Variety should be there. So I chose this boiled potato because she needs what? Energy. So the energy is the source of what? Carbohydrates for her. And the boiled potato also serves as what? A perfect what? Accompaniment for what? The protein course. Now let's look at the banana pancake. My reason is that it's a refreshing dessert that contain what? Iron, potassium, and folates, which are good for what? The baby. It has an attractive color that makes the meal what? Attractive and appealing. Of course, after serving the dish, the meal, it should look beautiful, colorful, attractive. So there should be blending. It shouldn't be one way. Now let's look at our costing of menu. Now that we've selected the dishes, now let's cost it. Remember, we said at the end of this lesson, you should be able to what? Cost meal for what? Individual. So this pregnant woman's meal that we are preparing, we should be able to cost it. So let's look at, in this table, we have food commodity, quantity, unit cost, and total cost. But then, under the food commodity, you have to group them under fresh ingredients and what? Dry ingredients. Which of them that comes first? If you are starting with fresh ingredients. Then you list all your fresh ingredients under fresh ingredients, and all dry ingredients under dry ingredients. So in my menu, I have snail as a fresh what? Ingredient. So anything that is fresh is things that are from the fridge, things that you have to store. If you leave them, they will perish. They will get spoiled quickly. So like fish, meat, fresh meat, frozen chicken, those kind of food items, they fall under what? Fresh ingredients. Then when you take the quantity, portion control is very key here. You have to get exactly what the person needs, just enough, not excess, not under. You have to provide what? A balance, something that is just enough for the individual. So I chose 3 medium size of snail because that is the largest part of the meal. As I said earlier on, the protein cost is the largest. So 3 medium size and 1 unit of what? Snail. That is 1 snail is going for what? 2 Ghana cedis. So 3 will be 6 Ghana cedis. So the rest of the item will follow like that. Then I will come to, this is just an example, it's not complete. It's just an example. There are other fresh ingredients in this question. Let's look at other dry ingredients in this question. Sweet potato. So I am just using 1 large size, and 1 large size is costing me 4 Ghana cedis. So the total is 4 Ghana cedis. Pepper is costing me what? 50 pesos. That is just a tie of it. So I have 50 pesos. Then I have palm oil. So it is being portioned in 1 cedi 50 pesos. So 1 cedi 50 pesos is 1. And so I need just 1. So I have 1 cedi 50 pesos. Then you come to the total of all the ingredients, both the dry and the fresh. So you realize that I have 6 Ghana cedis for all my fresh ingredients, and under my dry ingredients, I have 4 Ghana cedis, 50 pesos, 1 cedi 50 pesos. Oh, the 2 is amounting to what? 12 Ghana cedis. That is how your costing sheet, as in costing of the menu, should look like. Now, let's not forget one key thing. That is, before I talk about few things to know when planning meal against COVID-19. Why did I bring this? Yes, it's not part of it, but we are in COVID-19, coronavirus era. So of course, we could have other issues. We can be asked to prepare a meal against COVID-19. So it is very good to know certain things, certain immune boosters. So we have COVID-19 immune system boosters, things that you get zinc from. Zinc is good for what? It's important for wound healing, yes. We have vitamin C, protect cells from oxidative stress. We have iron, aid in what? Non-specific immunity and what have you. We have vitamin E, which help protect cells from what? Oxidative stress as well. We have vitamin A, help regulate our immune response, and vitamin B6, which supports more efficient reactions between different parts of our immune system. So when we have all this in mind, then what are the sources? So the sources of zinc, we have lean meat, seafood, they are all labeled there, milk, whole grain. Vitamin C, we have broccoli, we have orange, strawberry. Iron, we have spinach, white beans. Vitamin E, we have green leafy vegetables, avocado, nuts, seeds. Vitamin A, we have sweet potatoes, carrot. Vitamin B6, we have green vegetables. So these are things just to put in your pocket whilst you read, or you get to learn the items, the things needed. Now let's not forget about this particular one. Let's go back to one objective, that is to prepare a menu board or a menu card. So now, you basically just have to get a sheet of paper, a plain sheet, and just write your menu on it. Or you print your menu and wrap it around a board and just display on your table. Or better still, you just have to get a cardboard or a piece of hard paper with the individual dishes labeled on them, placed in front of the various dishes. This is just a takeaway. On this note, we bring today's lesson to an end, and the next lesson will be on time plan and serving dishes. Thank you and have a nice day.